Thanks for joining me today. It's an absolute
Thanks
pleasure
for
to
having
have
me.
you with me. I kind of want to find out a little bit more about how you got into this amazing industry, how the opportunity come about, because in my 11 years, don't come across many females and young engineers. So for me and everyone listening, it would be great to find out how you come across to the data center industry and becoming a mechanical engineer.
Yeah, so for me, oh, the video has dropped out. That's really weird. Sorry, 1 second.
That's
It's
all right.
completely disappeared. I can hear you, but I can't see you anywhere.
I
That's
love a bit of
really
tech.
strange. Yeah, it's always something. That's really strange. Okay, there we go. So how I came into it, funnily enough, energy people is how I got into my specific role. I was on LinkedIn and I got a message from James. I got a
Mr.
message from
Moat.
James, and yeah, and he said, hey, you like looking for a role? My team would be able to help place you. And I was like, yeah, I still am. And at first I was a bit skeptical because I looked on his page and he was like in Dubai, and obviously I'm in the UK, and I was like, oh, this
Yes.
is a bit different. And then he did like put me in touch with his UK team, Dom and Sydney specifically. And then from there, they like set me up with interviews, and that's how I end up in this specific role. Like I was always interested, like, so my degree's in mechanical engineering, so
Yeah.
like it was exactly what I wanted to do, but this specific role was actually found, interviewed, set up all by energy people.
Not a fluke at all. No, that's really cool. And it's nice that obviously agencies are helping women get into the industry.
Yeah.
But how did you come across doing a mechanical degree? Was that something that you'd always wanted to do from school? Where did that come from?
So I did physics and maths at like A level because I always liked, so physics because I liked understanding how things work, like how planes stayed in the sky, like how buildings kind of came about, and then maths just because I kind of like numbers. And then from there, I think someone said to me like, "What about engineering?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, that makes sense."
Yeah.
And then I kind of like pushed the two together and came to mechanical engineering. Like it's just something I've always been interested in that, and like from like a young age, I always wanted like something named after me. Such like a weird thing, but like
Love
I was like,
that.
oh, one day I'd love a building or a bridge to be named after me. And I was like, this is great. Like this could all come together and it could all happen. Um, so yeah, mechanical engineering is kind of where I fit into, and it was, yeah, I'm really glad I did.
And how
Really
did
glad
you
I did.
find going through university? Were there a lot of other females in your group and your year?
No, I was the only one.
Wow.
It was just me. So that bit was, I thought it was gonna be harder than it would be, but everyone was so lovely
Yeah.
to me. But yeah, it really was just me. I was kind of shocked. I did like I've obviously heard
Wow.
about the numbers being really small, for like female uptake of the course, but I just didn't expect it to be like none. Some of our modules were shared with civil engineering, and they seem to have a lot more women, but
Okay.
mechanical alone, it was just me.
Wow, that's
But I got a lot of
fascinating.
support, and like the uni was really like supportive of the fact that I was trying to like venture into the industry as a woman.
No, I can imagine. And I think that's partly where the problem comes, isn't it? If we're not getting females going to university doing the degrees, then there's going to be a lack of females entering the industry.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, obviously, you were obviously interested in the physics and the numbers, and that equated to the mechanical engineering and then stepping foot into the data center industry. But I don't think it's promoted enough at college and school level to then as a career for females.
No, not at all. Even
No.
at like engineer like fairs, it was always like even like work experience, it was always women would be kind of pushed into like beauty industry and like
Yeah.
things like more creative arts, like that sort of thing, or like teaching. Whereas like the men were kind of like the boys at the time, the boys were kind of pushed more towards like construction, policing, like a lot more like I want to say robust industries that came across a bit like it just wasn't promoted for the women like at all. Even when
No.
I said I wanted to do physics at A level, I remember a few people, there was even the like female uptake of physics was quite low.
Wow.
Um, so it's just I don't think schools do enough to make you realize that you can fit in and you will find a space in the industry. They kind of just say, stay in your lane or kind of stay where you are.
Totally. And am I right in thinking that you've been doing some stuff in schools recently?
Yeah, so I've been to I think I've been to 2 schools, and I've like given like talks. So one of my like visits with a school was with the BBC. So BBC
Wow.
Bite Size did like a tour where they go around to loads of schools, and they do like a panel event. So they have 4 people from different industries sitting on the panel, and I basically went with the I'm a Key to talk about my experience as a mechanical engineer in the industry. And yeah, that was really good. It was year 7 to 11, so we had like an hour of
Wow.
each of them, and it was nice to like hear the questions, and like people were so shocked when you said what you did. Like it was just really nice.
And how many schools did you go to?
So with BBC, I went to one school, but it was the whole day. So we did a session for each year group. And then I went to another school with the AFBE, so it's Association for Black and Ethnic Minorities, like
Wow.
engineering. And I went to a school there, and we like it was like a careers fair. And yeah, that was really good as well.
I think
Really
that's
good.
what,
And it was nice to talk to them.
yeah, and I think that's what we need more of, the people actually doing these jobs, and females going out and advocating to the school level to promote that it is an industry that they have got an opportunity to get into and be a real success massively.
Yeah, because a lot of
So
them
how
were shocked, like shocked, just like so shocked that they could do it, because like you could do it, and it's oh maybe I could do it, and it's something that you don't realize is there really is a gap between actually believing you can do it. Like they don't even consider it because it's not something that's advertised to them.
No, it's not. And I think to be able to help bridge the gap in the diversity for the industry, it needs to be started from that school level and brought all the way up, making sure that it's an industry that's inviting. People know that they can join it no matter who they are, what their background is, and they're going to be welcomed and supported. And I still think we're very much stuck in that era of men do construction and females do beauty and hairdressing. Um, what's not true anymore, because if we haven't got these massively diverse teams, we haven't got all the new innovations and the creativity and all those different skill sets to make really, really strong teams. But obviously now you're actively a mechanical engineer qualified, in a role. How are you finding it now? You're live in the market and doing the job.
I'm really enjoying it. So the company I work for is called Derns, and they're like an MEP consultancy, and we do like data centers and life sciences, and they've been really like supportive of like me working in different things. So I've done a little bit of sustainability work.
Oh wow.
I've worked on data centers like predominantly. I did a little project with some of the life sciences team. I'm really enjoying that. The company's really like friendly. They send you on training. It's been really supportive, and like everyone's just kind of been really welcoming, and that's kind of what I want everyone to see. Like it's not as it can be daunting at first. Like even when I go to events outside of the company, it can be a
Yeah.
bit daunting when you look around and 100 men, 2 women. But it is inviting. People are nice to you, and like more importantly, you do belong there. Whether or not there's one of you or there's 10 of you or 20, like you
Yeah.
do belong there. I think that's one thing I've had to tell myself, like I do belong here. Like you can feel a bit out of place or a bit like imposter syndrome, like, but it's definitely one of those things you do need to overcome, because it is a nice industry and it's not worth dropping out of because you don't think you deserve to be there.
But they've made that effort to make sure you feel supported and you've got the guidance and you've got all the tools for you to succeed.
Yeah, like especially at my company, like they've sent me to events, like in Newcastle. There's just been so many different events. I attended a data center award ceremony. So it's been really nice that they have actively put me in environments I wouldn't have been able to access myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like it has
definitely.
been really nice and like really supportive, and so I'm a graduate, and then I think there's only 1 or 2 other graduates at the minute, like
Right.
in mechanical team. But they've been like, even when like more senior people explain things to you, they're really like friendly, and they take the time to actually explain things to you. You're not kind of just stuck.
No, yeah, that's really good. And have you got, it's different for every company, but are there any female leaders in the business?
Yeah.
Okay,
Our
cool.
head of finance is a woman. One of our associate directors is a lady. She's technical, so she's a project manager. Yeah, my company itself is actually really diverse compared to the industry,
Amazing.
um, which has been really nice to see. Like I think there's about 30 to 40 of us, a
Wow.
good number of women. Yeah, like it's been like my company is really diverse, both on the like gender front and the like ethnicity front. Like we are like a good
All
a good
round team.
mix. Yeah, a really good mix. And it really helps that you can see the benefits of having an all-round team, like different opinions, different views, like different perspectives. I think it all comes together, like whether you're a woman or a person of color, you have so much to offer. And I think these
100%.
things in companies that don't have it, they need to realize that they're really losing out because there's perspectives that you're missing by not having these people on your teams.
Definitely. Yeah, and I think that's the important fact, isn't it? Um, the more people you've got with different ideas and that can offer, you just make a bigger and better company. And
Yeah.
it's great to hear that they're obviously really diverse and have got that inclusion piece. Do you think they do anything in particular to attract, or it's their personal mission to make sure they've got a really diverse and inclusive team, or kind of how is it because they've got a diverse and inclusive team that it becomes more inviting for other people to join?
I think it's both. I think number one, they support you on anything. So if any of us come forward and say, "Oh, we've been invited to an event," or like a event for like, so then I think International Women's in Engineering's Day is coming up, and I've got an event coming up, and I told them that yeah, like we go along, we support. If you ever need a day off to attend these events, like the BBC event, the
Oh wow.
AFB event, I went. It was a paid working day. They like business development. They sent me. Quite a few of us have been to schools. Like they do actively promote them. In the summer last year, we had some students actually come into the office, and we did like
Oh
a
wow,
career spotlight
cool.
with them. They spent like half the day with us. So the company is really actively trying to promote diversity, both with age, gender, ethnicity. Like it really is. I think, and that's what makes the company inviting. Like you don't feel like you don't fit in because we're all so different anyway. How can you fit
Yeah.
in when we're all different? You don't need to fit in.
No, no, that's the point though, isn't it? You just need to be you. And if you're able to be in an environment where you feel safe, secure, and be you, you're just going to
Mhm.
flourish. Like you're going to just become the best version of yourself. Um,
Yeah,
and obviously, you're very busy because you don't only do this, but you also do personal training on the side.
yeah, I do. I
So
do.
you're a busy lady.
Yeah. I enjoy it. I didn't want to give it up. It's something I've done for years. I've been a personal trainer for a while now, and it's just one of those things I just didn't want to give up. I enjoy it. And work knows I do it. They support me. And yeah, I'm really happy to do it.
That's amazing. And for you, speaking to any females out there thinking about getting into the industry, what would be your bit of advice for them?
I would say definitely get experience. Like be it work experience and industry placement. Because when I graduated, it was 2020, and it just kind of everything was a bit hard at that point.
Yeah,
And one of the biggest issues I found was I didn't have experience. I found that a lot of people did placements, work experience, just so many different things. I just didn't have that. So I'd say number one, get experience, no matter how. Companies are always willing to take you on, even just for a small placement. A lot of times, the companies that you do a placement with will then rehire you. And then
yeah,
the
makes
second
sense.
advice is find what works for you. So obviously I went to university. It's not for everyone. And now, so I went to university like how many years ago? 2017, so a good while ago.
Yeah,
There's so much more on offer now. You don't have to go to university. You can do an apprenticeship, a degree apprenticeship. And at the end of the day, we all sit around the same table, whether you did a degree, an apprenticeship,
100%.
a degree apprenticeship, and not uni learning isn't for everyone. Not everyone flourishes in that environment. So find what
Yeah.
works for you because you can come into the industry. It doesn't have to be during doing the traditional route that I did.
Okay. So I think that's the point, isn't it? Everyone's got to find a way that works for them. And
Yeah,
there are so many different options now for everyone to feel comfortable, but also get what they need to get out of for their career, because these aren't just jobs. These are people's
yeah,
careers, and I can imagine you've got in your head where you want to be in the next 5 years.
yeah.
Yeah, and I can't imagine anything's going to stop you.
I'm gonna try. I'm definitely trying my best to reach where I
Good.
want to reach.
That's amazing. I do really appreciate you coming on today, and having a chat, because I think it's so important to be able to speak to a number of different levels of females, because where you are right now and what you've just been through to get into the industry is so important, and making sure that we are advertising and making it known that anyone can join the industry. It's a welcoming place for everyone, and females should feel like they have the choice. There
Yeah.
isn't just one route for everyone, and these types of roles can offer people, females, so much opportunity for a career, and to be able just to do something that they love. So
Yeah.
I do really appreciate your time. I understand you're very busy doing all these amazing things. But no, it's been great having you today. And yeah, I really appreciate all the advice you've given.
Thank you for having me.
No, it's been a great pleasure. And we'll definitely keep in touch.
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. We'll speak soon.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.